Hello and welcome back to the Battle Room. I'm, of course, the Battle Room. And today we have our first big Reg F tournament. Now, normally I don't cover online tournaments, but this one was just honestly insane. I believe there's about 1,000 players. There was $1,500 on the line and a little bit of coaching. Just an insane, absurd tournament. And I feel like in terms of meta progression, we got to talk about this. We got to talk about the teams. We got to look at this one because this was pretty hype. Honestly, I was watching along all weekend. I really wanted to play in it, but I had some prior obligations, so I could not attend. But attend online. But it was just a sick tournament. I think it's a pretty good. I know there was some. There was one Reg F tournament that Victory Road ran, and for whatever reason, they decided to run it during Las Vegas. Shout out to Victory Road and insanely timed tournaments. But yeah, it was during Las Vegas, so not a lot of Americans were able to play. So this was like the first, I mean, we have Japanese players, we have Europeans, we have Americans, we got it all. So this tournament is just extremely hype, and I'm excited to talk about it because I think it is pretty sick, and I think it's a good start moving forward in this metagame. So I'm not gonna really touch on the 9-3s. Maybe we'll take a little peek at a couple teams here. But yeah, I mean, it was a huge tournament, right? So there's tons of 9-3s. It goes all the way to 38 from 16. Like, it's absurd how many people were close to top cutting. I mean, like, it's actually an insane tournament. But yeah, there was some names I noticed here. JX9 decided to run a Grimmsnarl-centric team. We got Grimmsnarl, Dragonite, Landorus, Urshifu, Ogerpon, and Iron Hands. Definitely something we really haven't seen too much of. I feel like Iron Hands is just not a Pokemon that is very relevant a lot of the time. I mean, I think he's solid. The main place we see him was on that Hoge team, paired with the Furgraph, but Joe's just decided to run an AV Hands. He's still bulky as fuck. And also, a little bit of influence from Regulation H. We have the Loaded Dice Dragonite here as well, with Scale Shot, Tailwind, Haze, Protect, just straight out of Regulation H. Grimmsnarl, Ogerpon, Urshifu, and Landorus. Really solid team. One thing that I noticed that was really interesting was the lack of Raging Bolt, like Calm Mind Raging Bolt specifically. It just didn't pop off as much as you would have expected, because I feel like that was what everyone was tweeting about, everyone was thinking about. It was like Calm Mind Raging Bolt and how it affects the game, right? It's like, this thing's lame, this thing's boring. Jesus, like he's a nightmare. What are we gonna do in a Calm Mind Raging Bolt, right? But honestly, I'm not seeing too much of him. I really am not. But yeah, let's hop into this. Let's look at the and we looked at 193 team of Joe's team. But let's hop into this. Let's look at the top cut teams. So first up, we got Articuno. Articuno, I haven't played too much of the Regulation F ladder. I mean, I've played a lot of Regulation F when it happened, but I have not played. I played about like 10 games on Showdown. Pretty nuts, I know. I'm just kind of on a break right now, not trying to play too much Pokemon. I don't really have any tournaments, so I'm just trying to take a break while I can get it. And but this is one of the teams going into this format that you instantly think of, because Regulation F is like, I think of Raging Bolt, I think of Articuno, right? Those are like the two. And Articuno is actually so annoying and so absurd. The freezes of this team, oh my god. Because I feel like Alolan Ninetales is good in this format, but I mean, I think that it's good, but I also think that it's like really hard to fit on teams, and the Articuno team just does it so well. So you get a lot of good value from Alolan Ninetales here, but it has a lot of cool Pokemon, right? We've got Articuno, we've got Hisuian Arcanine, we've got Alolan Ninetales, right? Like, just right off the bat, 3 bangers. Then you run it out with this Ogerpon Wellspring to help deal with their Shifu and friends. Ogerpons are just so good, and Wellspring is no different here. Water Absorb is absurd for facing down their Shifus, and then Landorus is probably the best ground type, right? Like, there really aren't many in this format. Ursaluna kind of came up right with the Nils team, but outside of that team, you don't see Ursaluna a ton. Ursaluna Blood Moon is pretty solid as well, but both the Ursalunas do require a little bit of speed control, right? They need Tailwind, they need Trick Room to help deal with Raging Bolt. Otherwise, it's just gonna blast you with a fucking +1 Dragon Pulse, right? Or a Draco Meteor, right? So it's something you have to consider. But Landorus doesn't have to worry about any of that. He's chilling. He's faster than Raging Bolt. He has access to Substitute, Earth Power, Sludge Bomb. That's all you kind of need. Sometimes you'll see some Sand, Sea, or Storm. Landorus is one-dimensional as fuck. He is very boring, but he's really important in this format, and he's really good at what he does, which is just help with Raging Bolt, right? Like, Raging Bolt kind of hates to see Landorus coming. Like, even if you rip that Terra Fairy, you're feeling good, and then he hits you with Sludge Bomb, right? And again, you cannot hit him with the Dragon Pulse. And what's cool about this Landorus as well is, let's say you Terra because you had to, because of Urshifu, because of the countless other things in this game that threaten the 4 times weak Landorus. Let's say you Terra, you throw that in there, boom, you still have Substitute. So now you play a mind game with the Raging Bolt, you are able to potentially set up a Substitute to block the Thunderclap, which I think is very cool. I think this team is just so well made, and I kind of don't expect it to go anywhere. I think it's strong. I think Articuno is very annoying to deal with. There's a lot of chances for it's very hacks positive team as well. Every time I play this team, I'm thinking about the freezes, I'm thinking about the rock slide flinches, whatever misfortune that may come upon me with this team, right? Like it is brutal to play against, but also Articuno is like no slouch. It's dealing a ton of damage, it's putting on a lot of pressure, and you have to respect it. And again, I think what brings this all together is that Ninetales. You set up the screens, right? This like Clay Ninetales just makes everything unkillable. And then round everything out, we have a Raging Bolt because he's one of the best Pokemon in the game. So it is what it is. Next up, we have Erizabeth. So Erizabeth is actually a very, I would say, pretty well-known player. They have a lot of influence on the metagame. They basically kind of invented this rain team. It was the Sinestro, Dragonite, Ursaluna team. Very popular in Regulation H. And I think a lot of players, myself included, whenever Erizabeth comes on, posts a new team, or I see something from them, I'm like, hold up. New team, we gotta check this one out. And this is no different. Top cutting this tournament with a very unique team. So I feel like Gouging Fire is another type of team in Regulation F. We got I think this is actually a pretty good video just to kind of learn the metagame, right? Because I feel like a lot of the teams that I saw in the top cut are just teams that are already established and well known. But what Gouging Fire is able to do is able to Howl, set up his buddies, right? And this is no different. He sets up Dragonite, he sets up Xianpao. I guess he could set up Galarian Zapdos, but also Galarian Zapdos can set up him. It's kind of nuts. This team is really crazy because normally you see Dondozo, you see, I think it's usually Dondozo, Ogerpon, and Gholdengo. I'm totally blanking. You know what? I don't want to get this one wrong. Dondozo is Gholdengo. Yeah. It's not Ogerpon. Dondozo, Gholdengo are the 2 changes, and then they still have Dragonite here. Yeah, Ting-Lu usually is more supportive, but yeah, usually it's just Dondozo and Gholdengo in the last 2 slots. But opting for Galarian Zapdos and Sinestro is pretty wild. Sinestro's like kind of, I don't know, his Pokemon, right? Like it's a Pokemon that he likes to use, and a Pokemon that we see him use a lot. I think it still has value. I think it's a Pokemon. I don't know if, like myself, I would ever want to use it or explore this Pokemon in any way, but I think Hospitality is inherently like a really strong ability that I think it kind of is just good in any format. At least like slightly good. I don't know if it's winning tournaments in every format, but I think the value of Hospitality to give basically any Pokemon a Citrus Berry is valuable, right? And the moveset isn't absurd. It gets Rage Powder, Trick Room, Matcha Gotcha. Its signature move is so strong and Strengths Up. It's just good in any format. It's just so good. But yeah, so this is like basically an all physical team with Howl, Gouging Fire, and then we have a clear amulet on Ting-Lu to deal more damage. We have Loaded Dice Dragonite, which is pretty popular on these types of teams, just to give it a little bit more agency, I think, right? Like you need the coverage. Fluttermane is a monster in this format, so opting to run stuff like Iron Head is extremely valuable, because Scale Shot is just like not, it's good, but there are a lot of fairy types still. And then this coaching Galarian Zapdos is absurd. I like the Defiant choice. I think that's really good. I think because it's an entirely physical team, I think having something to make Incineroar question to come is huge. So I think having the Galar Zapdos is neat. Normally you see something like King Gambit, but it is what it is. But yeah, I think this team is like, it's kind of cool. It's kind of the normal stuff to a degree, but then this guy is crazy with the Terra Blast, Terra Poison, Clear Amulet. But at the same time, Ting-Lu is Ting-Lu, and there's a lot of special attackers. I could see him having some value. And again, I mentioned ground types being important for Raging Bolt. He's good. He's good into Rage. He shuts Raging Bolt down like no one else. So, just a cool team. I like the idea of the Sinestro paired with the Ting-Lu. Yeah, dude, Erizabeth is a certified chef. Next up here, we've got Indeedee Iron Crown. This team is also very popular. Yeah, I mean, it's just a pain in the ass to deal with. I think Justin Karras was the person who placed the highest with it. It's a very potent team, right? Like you've got Indeedee Iron Crown. Instantly right off the bat, you have Psy Spam. You have to deal with the mind games of these 2 Pokemon. This one has Terra Blast as well, because normally these 2 Pokemon hate Incineroar. boom, slap on Terra Blast Water, and now you're potentially one-shotting him with Helping Hand, right? It also synergizes incredibly well with Tornadus. Ogerpon Heartflame is just a beautiful, beautiful, strong Pokemon in this format. It's probably one of the best. I don't want to say it's the best at all, but it is up there. This Pokemon is so strong. I think this team just uses all the broken Pokemon and then just slaps on like a Regidrago. Well, I guess I wouldn't say Iron Crown and Indeed are broken, but like it does have this like Science Spam team, and they're like, hey, 2 broken guys, and then Regidrago. Whoa, I didn't see Terra Fairy there. That's pretty nuts, but sure. Regidrago just nukes everything that's not a fairy type, but you also have an Iron Crown and a Hearthflame to punish those fairy types, right? Like they're really scared to bring. They're not scared to bring Fluttermane, but Fluttermane doesn't enjoy Iron Crown, and it does not enjoy Ogerpon Hearthflame. So it synergizes really well with the team. You have to give Regidrago respect. The Life Orb seems kind of like counterintuitive because you're using like Water Spout effectively with Dragon Energy, but the damage you get just seems worth it. You're just nuking stuff because you don't really want to lock into something like with Choice Specs, but you do want to deal more damage, and Life Orb is kind of that happy medium, right? Because like at the end of the day too, if you are too low, Draco Meteor does absurd damage with Dragon's Maw. I think Regidrago is like, he's pretty nuts. So I think this team is really cool, and another really important team that you're going to need to be able to beat in this format. Next up, we got CC again with this Articuno team. I don't think there's anything changed at all, so we'll skip that one. We talked about Articuno. Next up, we got the Hoge team. So, if you don't know who Hoge is, you're living under a rock. The Hoge brothers are 2 incredible players who just one-trick Ursaluna. No matter the format, because Ursaluna's been allowed ever since they just started popping off. I mean, they've been playing for a bit, but like they have, once Ursaluna became unlocked, it hasn't been illegal, and they've ran it every single tournament since. But this is their new take on it. Usually they had Iron Hands on this team. It was like Iron Hands and I don't know if it was Amoonguss. I think it was like Iron Hands or Shifu. I'm really blanking on what it was. I don't even think it was Urshifu. But either way, this is their new take. No Iron Hands. We're Iron Hands free. It's just like genuinely a headache to deal with. You have to deal with Tailwind Tornadus, right? He set up Tailwind. You know, Blood Moon's dealing damage, Hearthflame's dealing damage, or he's like, hey, Tailwind's not really going to work. I'm going to bring my Mental Orb for Graph and set up a Trick Room, right? It's this Tail Room team, and he's just so good at forcing the team preview 50-50s, at forcing the 50-50s in game, and he's just so nasty with the Blood Moon Ursaluna that it's like, dude, he's going to cut these online tournaments every single time. No surprise here. It is cool to see what he's using a little bit in advance because, like, I feel like he shows, the brothers show their hands quite a bit, right? Like, they'll play in these online tournaments. They just do not care. They will lock in the team they're using next weekend, and they'll use their best team. And they want to win the money. They want to win these tournaments, and nothing new here. I think this team's, like, it seems like they've been leaning towards more defensive-oriented teams with, like, Incineroar, Amoonguss, Farigiraf. I mean, he's still Sludge Bomb, right? It's not like it's healing everybody. Sludge Bomb Amoonguss is super important in this format. Just take the Ogerpons, because Ogerpon is one of the best Amoonguss answers in the game. But yeah, I think like choosing to run Incin for Graph Blood Moon Amoonguss is crazy. Like, it's so defensive in nature, and it just doesn't kind of feel like the Hoge brothers as much. But at the same time, they're still popping off with it, and I do like the look of it. I love an Incineroar, I love an Amoonguss, and yeah, I think their team's pretty cool. I think AV is neat as well. There's a ton of special attackers in this format. There's a lot of physical ones too, but AV just feels like you're cheating when you run it on Incineroar. It's probably one of my favorite items, so I totally respect it here. And yeah, Terragrass to make up for that. I think the Hoge brothers teams are always cool, and this is a great place to start. Also, no Follow Me, but opting for Stomping Tantrum to hit Incineroar probably specifically, right? Like, having that ground coverage is pretty neat. Next up, we've got Tommy VGC. This format, I didn't realize it was like a year and a half ago. I totally forgot a lot of these teams. When I was kind of looking over stuff and kind of remembering and trying to remember where these teams came from. But this was a team that I believe it was Gramgus VGC. He is a incredible player from the past. I believe this was the team that he used with, I believe it was Emilio. I want to say, don't quote me on this one. But yeah, this team is just kind of classic hype hyperish offense, right? I like the double speed control here because you have Tailwind Tornadus, but you also have Icy Wind Flutter, because sometimes you don't need Tornadus, but also sometimes you need both. If you're playing a Tornadus mirror, having the Tailwind plus the Icy Wind, that's brutal. That's insane work, and it's just really, really obnoxious to deal with. I think this team is pretty sick. You've got Glimmora, which is like just not seen in the format, but Glimmora is really, really difficult to deal with, really annoying to deal with. It's just dealing a ton of damage with this Meteor Beam, and then if you ever hit it, it's sent up the Toxic Spikes, right? Like, this team doesn't like rely on Toxic Spikes at all, and I doubt they will ever self-proc the Toxic Spikes. I'm sure maybe they have, but you usually don't need to, because you just say, hey, Glimmora is just a good Pokemon. I'm just trying to deal insane damage with this great offensive coverage, and I have a Chi-Yu next to Glimmora and Tailwind. Like, what are you gonna do about it? This Power Herb is about to go nuclear, right? Like, I think the Glimmora is like pretty sick. It's also amazing into all the Ogerpons, right? Like, those guys are insane. Ogerpon Fire hates to see Glimmora coming. Even Ogerpon Water, like, to a degree, you kind of got to commit a Terra, but if you do that, he doesn't really care. He's still blasting you with a Meteor Beam at the end of the day, right? Or he's just poisoning you, or you're just procking his stupid toxic debris, right? And now your partner's poisoned. So I think it's pretty cool. It also uses Urshifu Dark, who I think is just not very common in this format, really. He's on, like, there's like another team that I think he's on. It's like it's kind of similar to this, actually. It's like Fluttermane or Shifu Entei stuff that is pretty obnoxious to deal with, and I think he does shine on that team as well. But yeah, this is just kind of a basic Tailwind Hyper Offense team that I think is really, really good in this format. It's really solid. I think it struggles with Trick Room. Now, next up, we got Evelyn here. Ooh, with the Turbo Cringe. So we've got Dondozo. This team, I played against this team on ladder today, and let me tell you, it was a nightmare. This team is a true nightmare. This is all the worst parts of Dozo on one team, like the most annoying parts, right? You've got Qianpao Dragonite, which is honestly a classic Dozo partner. It's so fucking annoying. Are we in top 8, by the way? We're not. Sorry, I wanted to make sure we weren't in top 8. We gotta give a little bit more credit to the top 8ers, but Qianpao Dragonite is actually just so demon mode with Dozo, because it's so hard to diffuse the damage that they're putting out, because they don't really care. They're like, hey, I'm just gonna shit out damage, and I'm gonna hope it's enough, and then boom, Dozo's in there, and you're like, dude, it was enough, because dealing with those two is a nightmare, because they just do so much damage, right? Like, if they want to hit an Outrage, if they hit that, I think if they hit a good Outrage, you just insta lose. But they don't even have to do that. They can sometimes just blow up your Pokemon with the E-Speed plus the Qianpao. This one's also Life Orb Terra Stellar, so it's dealing even more damage than you're used to. And then, if you're like, okay, I managed to somehow diffuse that lead and also beat Dozo, then you're like, oh shit, they just led Weezing with Toxic Spikes Poison Gas, right? Like, now they're just procking this, they're just poisoning my two Pokemon, right? Like, because normally you kind of want to lead something defensive, a little bit more bulky, right? Into Qianpao Dragonite. If you do that, boom, you're getting Poison Gassed and Toxic Spiked, and I don't know what you're going to do, dude. All your Pokemon are poisoned, and now Dozo's going to Timer Stall you. Not Timer Stall you, he's going to Poison Stall you, and this one is also a defense boosting Dozo, so you have to deal with the order ups that are going to power up the body press, and he can also just kind of go infinite too, right? Like, if this guy keeps going, he's just going to start one-shotting things. It doesn't matter how many times you intimidate him. It doesn't matter how many times, you fake him out, right? He's just ordering up, and he's going to body press you. So I think this team is just so cringe. It's so hard to deal with, but, like, low-key, respect, because it's kind of good. It's kind of annoying, and it's kind of good. Dozo always finds a way. I also think Dozo is, like, actually pretty strong in this format. And then we're going to see this team once again. I don't think we got anything too different here. Yeah, I think it's the same one. I will add one little note. What I do like about this team is, like, it's kind of nice with the typing, right? Like, you have this Ogerpon Wellspring, you have Sunny Day to make Chi-Yu just go insane, but you still get to cheat with Urshifu, and you have Urshifu and Ogerpon, and you don't have to run Rain Dance, which I think is really valuable, because when you play the mirror, normally the Tornadus is set up Rain Dance for their Urshifu Waters, but in this case, fuck that, dude. You're setting up Sunny Day to weaken their Urshifus. I actually think people have ran minus, like, IVs on their Tornadus so that they can set up Sunny Day after they set up Rain Dance, which is kind of fun. I don't remember if this team did that. It's been a while, but I think it might. I think it could be valuable. I know I've seen it before. All right. That was top 8, by the way, so congrats to Fox. Now we got Big Mike OG here with our first Gholdengo we're talking about. I think Gholdengo is pretty solid in this format. He's just a little bit more particular, and I think you have to really you gotta work a little bit harder. I think in Regulation H, Gholdengo is broken. He is that guy. He carries the format on his back. I think he is absurd. I think he's absurdly strong, absurdly broken. I think he's a little bit almost unfair in Regulation H. I think he's a little bit like, I think he is number one. I think he's the best Pokemon. In this format, he's like, okay. He's like not even that strong. He's still strong. But again, you have to work for him a little bit. I think this team's kind of neat. You got your Fake Out to set up Gholdengo, and then you have Tailwind to also help Gholdengo. I think, and then you have Follow Me to help Gholdengo. There's a lot more pieces you have to throw his way. Also, Regidrago and Gholdengo is disgusting coverage, right? Like, who cares about setting up Gholdengo? Set up Tailwind, smack him with Regidrago. Oh no, they Terra Fairy'd? Boom, make it rain. Dead, right? Like, it's kind of a sick team. I also feel like the Tornadus is cool on this team, like, because you don't really need him. I think you have a lot of good speed tiers with this Rillaboom. You have the Follow Me support for this guy. You got Grassy Glide. I think it's just a well-made team. I actually really like this team a lot. I didn't look at this one prior to the tournament, but now that I'm looking at it, dude, I'm thinking about Pokemon Showdown right now because this one looks mad fun. Congrats to Big Mike OG. Next up here, we got Kieran with Roaring Moon, Instant Flutter, Amoonguss, Wellspring, and Raging Bolt. Is this the same one? No, that's a little different. All right, we'll talk about it. I thought there's another team like this one. Okay, so this team is just like, I think Roaring Moon's an interesting one, but in this format, he can kind of just become like a setup king, which I think is pretty cool. There's a lot of teams where Roaring Moon can just get completely out of control. His typing is sick. He's got Terra Flying. He's got Dark Dragon. He's pretty bulky outside of the Fairy weakness, but then you just slam the Terra Flying. His stats are fire, and so he just becomes this really, really good setup Pokemon. The booster energy as well gives him even more damage with very little downside. And yeah, you can set him up with Amoonguss. You can Rage Powder for him. You can set him up with Fake Out. But if you're like, hey, the Roaring Moon just isn't cutting it for me, I need something else. Boom, you have Specs Fluttermane. Piercing's funny. You have Specs Fluttermane, you have Wellspring. You just have some of the best Pokemon in the game. Instant, Amoonguss, Fluttermane, Wellspring. Holy shit, count me in, right? Like, that's just good Pokemon. You can play amazing Pokemon here, and I think, if I had to guess, amazing Pokemon was played with this team because it is just really, really fair. There really isn't, like, legitimately, I'm not seeing much hacks. There's Sleep Powder turns. You have to play with that. That can get annoying, but like, dude, there's like literally no hacks. You could crit with IV Cudgel, but yeah, it's just kind of a fair team. It's just about setting up Raging Bolt or just trading damage with Fluttermane or Amoonguss or Wellspring or Raging Bolt. Raging Bolt is kind of the interesting one here. But again, he trades damage really well. This is just a very, very defensive and fair and strong solid team. Raging Bolt is usually something else, but I kind of like Raging Bolt. Snarl Spam is strong, and you also have those webs to get more support for Fluttermane, potentially combat stuff like Urshifu really, really well. I mean, Urshifu looks really good in this team because he's super valuable to Fluttermane and Incineroar with the right speed control. But then at the same time, you're dealing with Raging Bolt, you're dealing with Wellspring, you're dealing with Amoonguss. All those things just fucking suck if you're Urshifu. So I think this is a really cool team in terms of like how it approaches Urshifu and how it tries to kind of bait it in, but also how it kind of destroys Urshifu, which I think Urshifu is one of the kings of this format. So if not one of the best, he's just kind of the best guy half the time. Whenever he's allowed, he's just the best Pokemon. He's something else. I really like Incineroar. I have the utmost respect for the king, right? He is the king of Pokemon. He is fun to play with. I personally enjoy Incineroar so much, but Urshifu, this guy just breaks the game in just unholy ways, and he goes nuts. So next up, we got BTVGC, who is the guy who got second place to Luca Ceribelli in 2024 World Championships. So this is a world finalist team, or I guess a team that he built, a world finalist build. I think this team is really sick. I'm a big fan of this one. This was like probably my favorite team that I looked at in the tournament, and definitely one I want to try out going forward. So first things first, you got this Taunt, Icy Wind, Thunder Wave, Flutter, just pure support. I think support Fluttermane is pretty cool because it kind of cheats the game. Because if you didn't know this, Fluttermane actually outspeeds Adamant Urshifu in Tailwind, which is just nasty work, right? That's brutal. That feels so cheating, dude. It's so absurd, right? So Fluttermane can kind of cheat the Tailwind. It can outspeed a lot more Pokemon that you would expect in Tailwind. It goes nuts, outspeeds Gholdengo, outspeeds Admin Shifu, outspeeds Incineroar, whatever you want, right? So it can set up Thunder Waves, it can set up Icy Winds, which I think is cool into Tailwind stuff, because Torn is back on top. Whimsicott, I'm sorry, Whimsicott, you're out of here, dude. I know you just went insane and won a regional and an internet, but it's time to go. It is back to Tornadus' time. Tornadus specifically is just so good into Whims. Like, Rain Dance is super valuable, Sunny Day is super valuable. Obviously, Whimsicott can Sunny Day, but Rain Dance with her Shifu, the numbers are just off the charts, right? So I think Whimsicott goes away, Tornadus is back to being king, and Flutter Mane is cool because it can contest that a little bit. But this team also just has a ton of priority spam. We got Thunderclap, we got Grassy Glide, we have Sucker Punch, we got Ice Shard, and we got Aqua Jet. Literally every Pokemon has a priority move except for Flutter Mane, and I love priority spam. I think it's so fun, dude. Fuck speed control, I'm just moving first, no matter what. So we have that. Focus Energy is really, really cool as well. Holy shit, I'm just totally blanking. There's one thing it's super important for him. Oh, Incineroar. Incineroar. Focus Energy is just sick because it makes Ivy Cudgel crit every single time, because for whatever reason, they decided to give it a crit chance, and Incineroar is everywhere, so being able to set up a Focus Energy and just critting Terrafire Ivy Cudgels, holy fuck, right? Like, that's absurd. Not to mention, if you actually just don't get intimidated and you have the +1, oh my god, you're just exploding things, right? So that's cool. The Rillaboom can help set that up and enable it. But then he also sets up Urshifu, because Fake Out plus Searching Strikes is probably one of the best combos in the entire game. But then, if you want even a little bit more damage, you can slap in this Sash Urshifu next to Chimpao, and you can just set up Sword of Rune Searching Strikes, which are also one of the best combos in the game, right? Like, Fake Out Searching Strikes, like S tier, best thing. And then, I'd say I would say it's Fake Out Searching Strikes, and then Rain Dance Searching Strikes, and then it's Sword of Rune Searching Strikes. And then maybe Helping Hand, maybe. I don't think Helping Hand is just like, it's not as good of a move. But I would say Helping Hand is probably a little bit better than Sword of Rune damage-wise, but you get my point. It's one of the best combos you can throw into the game. And yeah, it just looks like a team of good Pokemon that let you play well, and everything is just dealing damage. Like, it literally is like, this is the most supportive Pokemon. When Flutter Mane's your most supportive Pokemon, you go in the fuck in. So I like this team. I think Sash Urshifu is pretty neat as well. It's not very common or very popular, but I think it can pair incredibly well with this Chimpao who opted to run Life Orb. I just think this team's cool, and it's cool to see such a good player participate in this tournament and do as well as he did. Next up, we've got Michael Urbesti with this is the version of the Gouging Fire team with Ting Ludozo. This is, again, another team you should put on your list of teams to fight. This one is pure and utter cringe. It is so brutal to play against. When I play against this team, it honestly just pisses me off. I still think about this NPA set I lost like 2 years ago because I just got bodied by this team. And I literally thought I brought a counter team, but this team is just so obnoxious. It's so good. So the main idea here is you got Sandtomb, you got Yawn. If you press Sandtomb, Yawn into something, they're fucked. They're taking residual damage, and next turn they're going to sleep, and these guys are just going to double protect on you. And you're like, okay, that sucks. How do you prevent that? Well, you just can't, because these guys are just so bulky. Dondozo, Ting Lu are literally like just unkillable. They obviously have a lot of weaknesses, but you can just Terra one of them, and then you just go in the distance. Also, Michael Drest is an incredible player, so it's kind of cool to see Michael Drest just playing this cringe team. It's just so strong. If you don't know what to bring to a local, I think this is the one. If you're like, fuck, dude, I got a tournament this week, what should I use? This one. I think it's pretty, like, there's some depth to it. I wouldn't say it's like an easy team. Like, it's not like, oh, dude, it's just free wins. I think you can get pretty in depth with it, but I do think it is a pretty strong team. Sandtomb plus Yawn is broken. Body Press does a lot of damage. Nation plus like Wave Crash and Heavy Slam is absurd. Flutter Mane can't really be led into these guys. They just threaten KOs left and right. It's brutal. And then if you get through all of those guys, they also have the legendary Chimpao Dragonite, right? Like, you have to deal with a Sash Chimpao and a loaded Dice Dragonite this time with Inner Focus, so you're not intimidating it, and it's just setting up speeds on you. And if that's not enough, it's just gonna blast you with the Terra Steel Iron Head, and it's so good. It's so saucy. Just talking about it makes me want to play this team again. Opting for Protect on Gouging Fire, which I think is pretty funny, because it does get Burning Bulwark, but being susceptible to those status moves is brutal. I think Protect's probably the best. And then we just have a Choice Specs Dazzling Gleam, Gholdengo. Just because like I feel like the team is all physical Pokemon, so having that special attacker is really, really valuable and really, really important. And just being able to smash them with a Make It Rain is sick. So I think this team is just so solid. I'm gonna have to play this one later. I really am. But congrats to Michael for going so deep. Next up, we have the Crown team again. This time I think the other one didn't have Rock Tomb, but either way, this team is so strong. Terra Fairy, Regidrago as well. Yeah, I mean, dude, this team is just nuts. You just deal so much damage. I think the Iron Crown Regidrago combo is just so nasty, so disgusting, and I think this team probably does it the best. I think Torn is incredibly annoying as well. It's got endless options, right? Because you have to deal with the Follow Me guy, Follow Me plus damage. Like, the Indeedee is synergies with everything. They all do so much damage. This is like a really cool... I feel like we never get to see Indeedee female on like an offensive team. You know, it's like always on Hard Trick Room. But like on a team that's just like this is a Tailwind team at its core. This is the fast-paced, strong, hard-hitting team with Urshifu Scarf, right? So I think it's really cool to see Indeedee paired with this stuff. But yeah, we talked about this team. I just think it's so strong. Another team you have to respect. Next up, we got 8080. Okay. Okay, I got Smeargle. What's up, Smeargle? Holy shit. I didn't look at this one. Sunny Day, Icy Wind. Okay. So this is like the same... It's very similar to the other team. But instead... Like the other team we talked about with Glimmora. But instead we got a Smeargle, which... I think he can throw a fucking wrench into any plan, and he's annoying. So Smeargle paired with the Tornadus, very similar to the Kinigawa team. You're able to set up a Spore. I bet you this thing is slower than Smeargle, so you can get the self-decorates off. Maybe not sure, but either way, you can decorate. Also, just Tailwind Spore is brutal to deal with. We also have an insane Sunny Day Icy Wind Moonblast Fluttermane. Like, no Sunny Day on Torn, but Sunny Day on Fluttermane. To help power up Chi-Yu or Raging Bolt. Also, just manual Sunny Day is kind of sick. Like, I do think it's cool to be not priority, because then you're able to just set up Sunny Day. Like the Tornadus can Rain Dance, and you're always moving second. So I think having Sunny Day is cool as like on a Pokemon that doesn't have Prankster. But Fluttermane is pretty crazy. But like, I do think Moonblast, Icy Wind are all you need. You can kind of fill out whatever you want. So sure. Instead of Sash or Shifu, we have Banded. The Sash is nowhere. Oh, it's on Smeargle. That makes sense. So you have the Banded or Shifu here. The Smeargle is just kind of crazy to me, but at the same time, I do think it is strong. It is annoying, right? Like, Smeargle you have to respect, and I think when no one's respecting it, it's time to bring him in. I think Smeargle's a little risky into an Ogerpon format. Ogerpon is on a lot of teams, but hey, they went pretty fucking deep. This Smeargle team went nuts, only losing in finals, and then, I mean, they just won every game in day 2. They just literally, they had a pretty solid X2. Like, X2 is hard, you know, it's hard to do. But then, day 2, they just said, hey, I'm not gonna fucking lose. So yeah, shout outs to them for going as deep as they did. That's a crazy team, by the way. But yeah, this team's kind of neat. This team's kind of sick. It's very similar to the other team, but just like more aggressive and more scary. And I feel like sometimes just having those little bit of adjustments, right? Like throwing on Smeargle. I know how to play against the Glimmora team. I've played against the Glimmora team. But do I know how to play against the team when it has Smeargle on it? Maybe not. So I think high value to change that one up. Congrats to them for getting second. And then finally, in first, wow, this team only lost one time. Tommy VGC. Did it get the revenge? Nah. Jude didn't have to play it again. But yeah, only losing to that Hyper Offense team. This is the team that won the entire tournament. We've got, again, that Dragon Dance Roaring Moon. Very similar to the team I covered earlier, but with no Raging Bolt. So we got this Roaring Moon. We've got Incineroar. Hoping Hand's cool. We got Amoonguss, Fluttermane, Wellspring, but instead we have Iron Hands. Iron Hands is just another fake out support Pokemon. I think it's also just like, it gives you more pivoting, right? Like, because it's running Volt Switch. You have Volt Switch, you have Parting Shot. It's just obnoxious to deal with. You have the fake out cycling, but not with Rillaboom, but instead with a Pokemon that does really, really well into Raging Bolt, and that does really, really well into Urshifu as well, right? Like, obviously Rillaboom does as well, but it's another Pokemon that can help you with Urshifu. But again, you still have this Wellspring, you do have Amoonguss, you even have Flutter and Roaring Moon to a degree, right? Like, Urshifu doesn't like them. Scarf Urshifu is good into Fluttermane, but at the same time, if it's not Scarf, doesn't really care. Or if it's next to Amoonguss, doesn't care, right? So I think this team is just really, really strong. I expect, obviously, just one, so I expect to see it a lot. not personally my style, but I do expect this team to be one that you have to deal with. Jude ran this team all last format. Like, they constantly use this team at every tournament they went to. No surprise to see them win an online tournament. They're really, really solid, especially online. And yeah, I had the honor to play them at Worlds Round 1, and it was kind of a banger set, I'm not gonna lie. They played incredibly well. Jude is just like a really, really solid and consistent player, so it's not crazy to see that they just brought their team that they mastered Regulation F the first time and was able to win out again. I think it's just a really solid team, and it's stuff people aren't necessarily thinking about, right? Like, Roaring Moon is not a Pokemon. It's very good, but also we just didn't see a ton of it. Like, even as we looked through the standings here, like, we saw one other Roaring Moon in cut, and it was the same type of team. There was one mon difference. Everything else was pretty similar. And if you just scroll for a little bit, the next one, 29th, right? Obviously still really solid, 9-3. But yeah, there's just not a lot of Roaring Moons in the tournament. So I think it makes sense that, I mean, let's take a little peek here. Where's Roaring Moon at? Yeah, they were 48. He's at 5% usage. So just not a very popular Pokemon, but was still able to win the tournament and do incredibly well. So congrats to Magic Aura for doing as well as they did. And yeah, this is definitely a team you're going to have to deal with and you're going to have to respect. And I think it just goes the distance. I think there's a ton of great Regulation F teams in here. Obviously, I'll link this tournament down below. Shout out to Ballin VGC, dude, for running this one. They really showed up, and they ran quite the tournament with a $1,500 prize pool. Just the sick thing, like, shout out, it's just amazing when people support this community. I love this game a ton, and I love when we get tournaments like this, like, just whether it's for metagame progression or just watching some people ball out playing the game we love. So shout out to Ballin, shout out to Brady for helping organize this one as well. And yeah, I think it's a pretty sick tournament, and I'm glad we got to cover it. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.